channel. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. So I'm going to stop this app and run it for us to see something. This particular tutorial is for you to know how to connect from your DAT activity, your DAT project to your Android project with code. Like you have a library in Android that you want to integrate in your Flutter projects, you can actually connect it. But before we go into it proper, let's look at the documentation here. They have given documentation for implementation to get a battery level in so many devices. So it's just using the same method that is being here. I follow documentation, so I just try to like test the Flutter, the demo project, and see how you can get this thing. First of all, I would like to explain one of my methods here, which is get string. Like you have a value in you have some method that you want to execute and get a value from a native environment to back to your Flutter environment, your Flutter code. So here is my method, get string. And this method, I'm going to copy it just like this and copy, Ctrl C. When you execute this method, there is a value that is going to return immediately, which is this, and there is a value that is going to return in a callback. And that callback, the method name, you're going to pass the method name in the callback in the native environment. The callback is here. So how are we calling this? How are we listening to this method? This method is being listened in the initial state. Hello, you can look at the initial state here. You can look at it. Platform.set called your initial state. But remember, this platform has been initialized here with an ID. And this ID is going to be used even in the native environment. Having seen that, we go up. Remember, we copy this function. So I'm going to put a function here and then we'll call it. Remember, I'm going to start background, which is the later thing that we're going to do. So I've saved it. Flutter have flashed it. Now I'm going to call getString. If you call getString now, you see that string A appear there. Let's look at where the callback occurs. We are using the callback to change our state. We're not using this particular one. This particular one I'll print it to the log. Value from call. When you call, you get the value immediately. The value that you get immediately, value from call, BB. You can see it here. And then when the value comes from the method you listen, this is the method you are listening that is going to be called from the native environment. This here you pass a method that should be called in the native environment, which is getString. And native environment is going to call a method for you, a method, and that method is getString in the native environment. Let's go to the native environment. Right here, let's look at it. You passing through several methods here. You did not get through. The getString is here. And this getString is invoking a method that will be listening in the DATs, which is getString, and the value is A. That is why you see A here on the screen. Just like I said, in the handle, we have the set state. The battery level now is that A. We are going close to it. I'm going to go to the battery level. Now the results, the sources is BB, and the results that brings immediately here is BB, just like it's being said here. Now let's go to the method. That is how to use and interact to send, to make a call and then get the value immediately and to listen to the value that comes at the end. Now imagine if you want to do this thing, to do it in a way like there is an event that's supposed to occur in your activity from the plugin, such that you respond to the DAT. How are you going to do that? That is going to come here. This is where you know that this handle method call is very, very important. So let's look at it. We have a background something here. A method is called start background timer. You can look at it as invoking that method that will be called and we execute a particular section of code in the handle in this handling background timer. Look at this. Here is a stop. Is stopping the background. So I'm going to add this here, or let me just copy this section of code, then add it here so that we can have a separate method for this, starting the background timer. I've copied it. Okay. We start a background timer, pass the method that should be called, which is start background timer. Let's save. Okay. Now I'll go back to my main activity in Java. And you can see start background timer is calling a method start background timer. And at this time, as we're starting a background, there's no need of getting the value immediately. But if there is need for you to get a value immediately, it has been explained in this case string. We do not pass any value. Stop background, the same thing, do not need a value immediately. But if there is need, please, you will return the value here. And this is sources is a method that you can pass any value so far as it's a primitive data type in Java, or if you are using Kotlin, a primitive type in Kotlin. So let's look at it now. When you have this, and what if you want to like pass a value that is more than primitive? That is where you can have a to string method or to JSON method that you convert it from JSON. When it comes here, transferring from that, convert it back to the class. I think that's a lesson of its own, but here we have to just understand this. The start background timer, when it comes here, is going to be just sending this after 5 seconds. That is 5,000 milliseconds. So when it sends this thing, each time it's going to be updating until when it says stop background timer, that is going to call this method stop background timer. You're going to check if there are not null, it's going to remove it from this. Now we have get battery level here, which will be used here, the battery level, for you to get the actual battery level at a time. Look at it, the battery level is a get battery level. Getting battery level is a thing of its own, but the code is already there on this platform for you to get. I'm going to also push this one to my video reference, this thing for you to get it. Now it's going to get a battery level and returns. You might want a native something that is not just battery level, something else. Maybe you have a plugin that needs to be connected directly to the maybe using Java, or you have a plugin that needs to use so you need to implement it. They don't have a plugin library for you, a library for you to interface with it directly with Flutter and that. So you have to implement it yourself. This is the way to do it. So this particular one is going to send do this particular job. So I think that is all for now. Until let me just now start my background timer, and it starts. The battery level is there, the thing will start. Remember, it's after 5 seconds. The timer is being set here, and we use the ID also here. Remember, this channel, this is the channel that is going to be received on our DATs, and we have the same channel ID, which is sample.flutter.dev/battery. It's the same thing. We have our handler and the runner there. It's something concerning thread. If you want to go through it, as they go, let's go. Here is just the redundant method. Let me close it up. Let's go back because there is something checking 10 now that I need to explain before I end up this video. Just like I said before, please, if you are new to this, subscribe this channel. Take you just a button for you to subscribe, nothing else. It costs no money. So okay, Let's look at the handle background that is being used, because handle method call, that is the one that is listening to any event that is being triggered from the main activity, because this one is an event trigger, it's not a return value. And if you can remember, stop this thing is not receiving any value because it's not that we are passing already, and there's no need. Start is also not receiving it, it's just calling the method and calling the method, passing the method name, and that is all. So we have it here. Here's our timer is being incremented here. Good. We increment the timer here such that should we increment the counts here such that each time there is a change we should know, because right now what we are having is the percentage is 100, so you might not observe like maybe the battery has changed or this thing. So that is that on it. And remember, this battery is a constant battery level because we are using an emulator. Thank you for staying tuned. Please subscribe. Have a nice day. We meet next time. Question and comments can come in. Will help us develop this.